Coach, please start us with an opening statement before we move on to questions.
I don't think I have a statement, but I'd have thanks, and my thanks is to our fans, former players, these guys up here to my right and left, those that continue to believe in what our mission is to continue to impact young people as they go through this phase in their lives. Thank our staff. They did a great job, wonderful job. I think at the end of the day, what we did was respond in a way that represents our character, what we've done since we got together in June, and what we've worked on. Our guys never severed, never went their different directions. They stayed connected, they stayed true to the scouting report, and they challenged each other. And those that were challenged responded in the right way and accepted the challenge that they was given from their teammates. Electric atmosphere, as you know. And I'll say this, I repeatedly watched DeJuan Harris's press conference, and he said he wanted to see what Mizzou Arena looked like. Well, he did. He did. He saw what it looked like. But in looking at it, our players saw what it looked like. And I just want to use this moment to build what we need to continue to build here in these infant stages of the program.
All right, questions?
Tamar, Coach Self just came in here and said, called you the best player in the game today. What does that mean to you to have Coach Self say that about you?
I mean, it means a lot, but my mission, my goal, my preparation this entire week wasn't to necessarily be the best player on the floor, it was just to win the game. And tonight, I was, able to score in certain spots and take advantage of certain matchups when I could, but, I just did what the game called for, and, again, my goal was to win the ball game.
Tamar and Dennis, can you guys, for people that might just look at a box score and look at points, explain the impact Josh had on this game?
First team all defense. Unbelievable character. Glue. Infectious personality. Having fun. Big time three that he's upset they called it a 2.
Two on the line.
But what he did was he's allowed us as a program to pour into him. He's allowed me as a head coach to love him and believe in him. And I think when you have that, you are able to give yourself and give more. And he's been giving more every single day, every single week. And Tamar Bates did a great job of challenging him personally. And you guys can ask them those questions, but he challenged Josh, and Josh responded. And Josh knows my rule. You get 10 rebounds, you can shoot a 3. He knows the rule. And trust me, he was counting the rebounds. And the best part about it is, just as he made that 3, he was excited about his rebounds. He wasn't just excited about the rebounds and the 3, he was excited about the screens he set. He was excited about running up and down the court. He was excited about every part of the basketball game that may not show up in this stat sheet. And ultimately, he's just an impactful dude. And I love him for believing in us, believing in me, and allowing me to put my arms around him, tell him the truth when he's wrong, or motivate him when he needs it. And that's what coaching is about, but also that's what being a great teammate is.
Coach, you said beyond the stat sheet, I want to ask you about Tamar. I know it's kind of awkward, he's sitting right there, but can you talk about what you saw from him as a leader, as a teammate in today's victory?
Look, at the end of the day, this is the part I look at. I see how he fathers his daughter. And it's beautiful to see. And I think when you put things in perspective, this is what it's about. It's not about anything else. He didn't want to be the leading scorer. He just wanted to win. And that's how he practiced it. He practiced that way. We knew we lost a voice with Grill. And he's done nothing but step in. And I didn't have to ask him at all. He stepped in, stepped up, and it's his voice that we hear consistently. It's the echoes. And it's almost like he beats me to the statements that I need to make in a huddle. And players are looking at me like, yeah, Tamar just said that. Right? And that's what it's about, having the players believe in each other, and they'll have each other's back.
Coach, throughout your tenure, you've been so quick to recognize the past and the history of the Mizzou program throughout all sports. I'm just curious, do you allow yourself to recognize the significance of a win over Kansas, specifically the #1 ranked team in the country?
Man, this is not just a game. It's not a game. And what we talked about was building memories 20 years from now. I want these dudes to remember what they accomplished. And that's what we talked about in our scouting report. How do you want 20 years from now when you look back? Yes, the great, our great players, our greats monologued the video on our Instagram page or Twitter page, right? They monologued it. I want these dudes to be able to do the same 20 years from now and inspire the people that come behind them. And ultimately, they deserve the moment. The history of our program, the history of our rival is entrenched. And you think Norm Stewart court was crazy? After the game, I want to see live video in people's living rooms. That's what I want to see. Because I'm sure on Kansas side, some people broke TV screens, and on our side, we broke ceilings by jumping up and down. And that's what it's about. That's the rivalry. It's not just in this moment, or the people that's here. It's the people that can talk about it, the people that can brag, and at the end of the day, it was a battle. They hit back, and we responded the right way.
Tamar,
Some questions for Josh and Tamar, please.
Tamar, you were 9 of 9 from
Y'all need to ask Josh a question first.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Josh, you emerged from the court storm with the horse mask on. How did that happen? Where did it come from? Can you just walk us through that?
Well, I never like to jump the gun, especially when this is a #1 ranked team. Anything can happen, so I wanted to stay solid and keep my head in the game. But I think when Ant got fouled, 30 seconds left, I was like, I need someone to get my mask. They're going to storm the court, so that's what came about it. It was a great moment with the fans. They got to see me, all happy and joyful, and I think this is a great memory for down the line.
For Tamar and Josh, what was it like to play in front of this crowd, and how big of an impact did they have on the game?
I mean, it was electric. We in our preparation, like in practice, we had crowd music playing just to kind of simulate it, but it's hard to do. Like it's hard to simulate, and for guys that like it was their first time seeing something like that and hearing like an environment like that, it's hard to try to explain it to them. But the fans were huge. I mean, we can't thank them enough. I mean, they were into the game from tip off into the buzzer. So, I mean, we appreciate them. And when I was in the court storm, all I had to tell them was, thank you, but I better see y'all at more games like this too, because that was ridiculous. And I mean, if our fans show up like that, no matter who we playing, especially when we get, later along down the road to, January and February, I mean, we have one of the best fan bases in the country. So if we just show up, I mean, we got one of the best environments in the country.
Josh, I noticed that you had a little bit of a grin when looking at the stat sheet as you were sitting down there. What about your stat line today really impressed you the most?
Just the 10 rebounds and 2 from the field, 100%. And also the 3 for 4 free throws.
Big time free throw.
I got my 10th rebound, and then they intentionally fouled me, put me in the 1-on-1. And then I was on the line. I was just talking to myself. I was like, this is your moment. You got this. And I was able to knock both of them down. And my plus minus was really good as well. +6. So.
Coach, Tamar, for you and Mark and Aiden, I know obviously being in the KC area in this game means a little bit more to you, but even though you try to have every preparation the same for every game that you take very importantly, does this one have a little more special feeling to it for you guys, considering you're from the KC area and the Cage right there?
Yeah, for sure. I said it in the pregame media that this isn't just a regular game, and I mean the focus and the preparation was the same. Like we respect all of our opponents, but obviously we just knew we had to have a different disposition coming into this game. And for us three being from Kansas City, I mean, after the game, we was just telling each other this is what we came here for. Like we don't got to go. I mean, obviously me and Mark found our way back closer to home and to Mizzou, but for kids in the next generation and that's coming to college next year, we just trying to show them that you don't got to go far to play big time basketball and win big time games, you can come play for this guy.
Say that loud.
You don't gotta go far.
Tomorrow, when
To
it's,
win big time basketball games and play big time basketball, you can come play for this guy.
tomorrow when the league gets cut to 2 there, can you just kind of take us inside the team, inside what the reactions were like? I mean, it kind of felt like some of those games last season, but obviously a much different result in the end. What was different in the
We just stayed together. We stayed connected. I mean, we felt like a dip in our energy, so we just upped our communication on the bench. Like nobody had that look on their face of defeat or like nobody was necessarily worried. We just knew that we had to respond. Like they're a good team. Like as much as we scout and as good as defense we played, we knew they were gonna eventually make a run. It was just about how we responded, and we were able to do that. And I mean, at the end of the day, we just wanted to find a way to win, no matter how pretty or ugly it was.
Tamar, you guys were 9 of 9 from the free throw line today. You guys drew 19 fouls, 26 of 31 from the line. That was an emphasis last year. It's an emphasis this year. How has your team been able to grow at generating contact and picking up fouls in games like this?
Well, Coach C. Wild leads the charge on all that, and just being physical drivers, and being patient, playing off of 2 feet in the paint. So that's definitely a way that we are able to generate fouls and get to the line, and then we just try to really focus. Like when we shoot free throws at the end of practice, we just try to be as laser sharp focused as possible. Like we take it serious, and we know that we can even shoot better than 26 for 31. But that's great. That obviously it was good enough to win. But I mean, it's just our focus, and I mean, like even Josh hitting those free throws late, him getting in the gym, extra days or before practice, after practice, just working on his free throws. That's just a credit to the work and the focus that we've been putting towards it.
Josh and Tamar, you guys, what was working well in the first half defensively that allowed y'all to get off to the big start?
Go ahead, Josh.
Just our defensive principles. We're in the line. Making passes difficult. Being real physical with those guys.
Let me take a timeout real quick.
Say the question again, please.
What was working well for y'all in the first half defensively that allowed you to get off to a big start?
I feel like I did a good job with my assignment. The scout was really good, and I listened to the scout, and we were really good at, diverting ball screens and taking away all those angled scores and post-ups that Dickinson likes to get, and defensive rebounding. I think Tamar told me at the first media time out, I had 5 or 6 rebounds already, and that was just the mentality I wanted to come in the game with. That I just wanted to be really good defensively because this is the #1 team in the country. For Tamar, him being from Kansas City, meant a lot to him, and for me, to knock off the #1 team in the country, that's the motivation it brought for me to, bring this effort towards the game.
Coach, as you walk the perimeter of the court after the game, when the court storms, you're high-fiving fans and giving hugs to people within Mizzou athletics. What's that moment like for you as you guys kind of complete the mission here, and you get to see maybe a dream come to reality here at Mizzou Arena?
What I wanted to do in that moment was take the perspective on and see what it looked like and observe people enjoy what took place. So I walked all around the court and I ended up near the drums by Dr. Knopp's, and I just stood there because I wanted a different view, right? I didn't want to be down. I wanted to get a little bit higher, and it was beautiful to see. And like Tamar mentioned, it's very important, and that's why I give credit to our fans, so they can understand behind the scenes their level of involvement is impactful, is very impactful. At the games, the sacrifices that they make to show up is important. Outside of that, you guys write more about us if our fans are engaged in your writings, in your subscriptions. in your job, and that will give them more of a hands-on approach to it being not as the Whitten family head men's basketball coach, but it's their program. It's their program. It is our fans' program. And if the ownership is there on their behalf, which it has been, it was beautiful today. I just wanted to see it. I just wanted to view it. And I wanted to take it in, because you don't get those moments. We live in a cell phone world. People with the cell phones, did they really enjoy it? I know I did. I took it in, and I was able to view it in a special way. Those opportunities don't come. We don't play Kansas on contract at home again. Yes, we would love to renew it, but the next 2 games are neutral in that rivalry.
Coach, you had that timeout at the end of the game where you let Kansas team kind of get off the court. What was your kind of thinking there? And when did you kind of decide, hey, they're probably going to start the court, I should let them safely get off?
Sportsmanship. That's all it is, sportsmanship, and that's how I would want to be treated. When I become a Hall of Fame coach and I'm the #1 team in the country, I would want my opponent to respectfully do the same. And no matter what, no matter what's going on, I'm always going to treat people how I want to be treated, regardless. And I think player safety is important. You know, I got upset at the table for making an announcement to tell our fans not to rush the court. You got to be kidding me. I was about to, in game, take the mic and say, rush the damn court. For real. And I just think they deserve that moment, but I didn't want it at the cost of a player getting hurt, getting ran over, getting trampled, because it's a tight squeeze in that area for the players to leave. And it's all about respect, man. And, you know, some people look at it a certain way. I just look at it, that's how I want to be treated.
Dennis, I know one of the things you've talked about since you got here is, hey, if you're on the court, we want you shooting from 30. If you're
Absolutely.
open, you shoot it. How big was Mark's shot there when they had cut it to 2?
Mark missed his last 3, and that's what confidence is. That's what confidence is. I want to say I drew the play. It sounds good. Mark made a big-time play. He believed in himself. It's the confidence that we talk about. It's no different than Josh's attempt, right? We want guys to play that. They do it in practice, and they believe in themselves. And as coaches, like I told you guys, Bill Self's not making a jump shot, nor am I. And Mark Mitchell made a big-time jump shot. So did Josh Gray. But these guys defended. They defended first. They defended first. That's what I want to say. They defended first, and they came out on top.
Josh, Hunter Dickinson finished with 7 turnovers. How did you approach the challenge of having to guard a player like him?
Player like him in what regard?
Just a very well-renowned big guy that you knew you're going to have to guard and limit.
Well, you know, to me, everyone, you know, wears the same shoes, you know, steps in the line, so I didn't really, you know, respect to him, but, you know, it was a big-time game, big-time matchup, and, you know, the way I play defense is very physical, in the SEC is very physical. So that's why I tried to do the whole game, just be physical, be on him, not getting easy catches, hands high on when he catches on the perimeter. You know, he's a threat out there. But just all the intangible stuff, really, just all the little things, you know, upping him on the screen or something like that, or, you know, taking away his post-ups. That's what really led to, you know, all those turnovers and all those defensive stops.
Last question.
Coach, obviously the absence of Caleb Grill changes the game plan a little bit, but you guys had 32 points in the paint, 26 from the free throw line. Just how important was getting to the hoop, and how much of an emphasis was that before the game?
Well, again, we want our entire unit to be whole, and we want Caleb Grill to get healthy. But in his absence, his words, his encouragement, every practice has been as if he's between the lines and he's getting a head start in the coaching, and this is an opportunity in it, but speedy recovery to him. I just think at the end of the day, it was balanced. Our attack was balanced. Our guys did a tremendous job adhering to the game plan, and it's not a difficult game when you're connected. It's a team sport, and teams win, not the individual. And these guys, again, challenged each other. No matter if they played DMPs or not, these guys toughed out a situation, and they were able to execute a game plan in the right way. You know, so I'm thankful for that. I'll also say, you know, congratulations to our volleyball team, being able to go to the Sweet 16. That's beautiful, unbelievable, beautiful, beautiful. And that's part of this village. That's what makes this city special. But also the support that our fans have shown them, continue to show it, go support if you can. But also in all our other sports, again, our women's basketball program had a big win yesterday. Robin Pishton and her girls. And then, you know, we're excited about where football and Coach Drink is headed in their next bowl. I don't know, when is that announced?
Just a couple minutes ago.
Oh, where we going?
What do you got?
Music City Bowl.
Music
Iowa.
City. Okay, Music City Bowl. Please go out and support them. The thing is, again, I want to leave this press conference thanking our fans for showing up, sacrificing what they have to be here in these seats. It means a lot, and it's going to continue to mean a lot moving forward, because it is a hostile environment. Last but not least, I don't know the last date. This is the 5th time we beat a #1 team in our program history. The 5th time. And the last time happened in 97. That's a huge accomplishment, and I want everyone to enjoy it. Thursday, we're doing an analytics, sort of an analytics clinic. You guys are more than welcome to come. It's for you all, because like the first half of this game, I'll give you an example. I could have looked at the rebounding and said, God, we're getting out-rebounded. Well, they had so many turnovers and we had so many shot attempts. That is an analytical approach that you cannot overreact because you're getting out-rebounded. Well, the fact of it is they were out-rebounding us because we had more attempts and we had less turnovers. And those things happen within a game, and I had to make sure our players didn't overreact and our coaches didn't overreact because they see the stat sheet. Oh, we're getting out-rebounded. No. We're getting more shots, keep playing defense, keep defending your butts off, and continuing to force a team who normally don't turn the ball over into turnovers. So we'll have that. Get with Jason Vaninsky on the time. You guys are more than invited. Again, MIZ, appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.